What's up, music fans of the internet? I am Kevin.
I'm Derek.
And together we are last week's album, the only reviews with two different views. Normally we're reviewing an album for you. This week, however, we're going to talk about 10 albums to look forward to in 2016 to kick off the year with a bang. Cheers, Derek, and everyone at home.
Cheers, Kevin, everyone at home.
Derek, why don't you kick us off?
Kevin, the album I'm looking forward to most in 2016 is going to be one from Kings of Leon. The brothers and cousin Followell are rumored to return following 2013's Mechanical Bull. News of the Kings of Leon album has been floating around for a while, but in a recent interview, frontman Caleb Followell indicated they've already started pre-production. More than anything, I'm really excited to see if their musical passion, like their sex, is still on fire.
Yeah, I think this one will be interesting. I think on the last one, at least for me, I heard them sort of just kind of having fun again and not really worrying about the pressure to come out with another blockbuster album. And so I think with that in mind, this one will be really good as well. I think it'll be more of them having fun. And just doing what they want. Next up on my list is Vampire Weekend. These guys can do no wrong in my book. I think all of their albums are masterpieces. Their last album, Modern Vampires of the City, was one of my favorites of 2013. Frontman Ezra Koenig has said that he wants the album to feel like a new era for the band. So that's exciting.
Kevin, I'm really looking forward to that one too. Modern Vampires, their last album, one of my favorite albums of that year as well. I still frequent a number of those tracks now and again. And I find this really interesting because when that album was coming out, when Ezra Koenig's talk, this is the end of the trilogy or whatever.
Yeah, that's probably, now that you say that, it makes sense why he's talking about this next one will be a new era. Maybe they're sort of closing a chapter.
Next on my list is Bon Iver. Bon Iver, or Justin Vernon, broke out in 2007 with his debut for Emma Forever Ago. 2011 saw his very strong self-titled follow-up. In some interviews following the self-titled follow-up, he indicated that the Bon Iver project might be over. But he's played new songs, live performances as Bon Iver recently. Their 2016 tour dates. So all signs point to maybe a new Bon Iver album.
It almost seems like forever ago when his first album came out now. It's like been a decade, I think. But I appreciate how he takes his time and he doesn't feel this constant need to crank out a new album every year. Or even every 2 or 3 years. I like how he takes his time, and it's usually worth the wait.
The fact that his follow-up to For Emma Forever Ago was so solid really kind of buys him some more time to, do what he wants now to make this forthcoming album.
Next up on my list is MGMT. This band sort of came on everybody's radar with their breakout debut, Oracular Spectacular. And then their 2013 sophomore album, Congratulations, seemed to sort of intentionally lack any straightforward hits. Their third self-titled album went largely under the radar. However, the band has tweeted that, quote, 2016 is the year MGMT redominates your mind hole. I'm still holding out hope that these guys can get their mojo back from that first amazing album. So I'm excited to hear what's coming.
Yeah, Kevin, their follow-up to their smash really didn't capture my attention as much as our first one. So just the way that they describe this one, I'm really excited as well. Usually I don't let my mind hold just be dominated, but for MGMT, I might make an exception. Next on my list is My Morning Jacket. While we're starting to cull together material for their follow-up to 2011 Circujal, they encountered the fantastic problem of having too much material, and as a result kind of planned to release that over 2 different albums. In 2015, they released The Waterfall, so they plan to release a lot of the rest of that stuff on this new album. Yeah, I really like The Waterfall, so looking forward to what may fall from there.
Yeah, I really enjoy that album as well. I think it might, at least in my mind, mark a new chapter for the band. It had this more sort of organic and natural feel to the whole thing. But I thought The Waterfall was a sort of perfect name for that album. So I hope they keep that up. I'm excited to hear what comes next. Next on my list is Poliça, who are coming out with their third album. It's going to be called United Crushers, which is just a cool title. They're a Minneapolis-based synth pop band that's been one of my favorites in recent years. Really caught my ear with 2013's Shulamith. And they already have a single out from this upcoming album. It's called Lime Habit. And I think it sounds a little bit lighter, a little softer than the heavy lushness of Shulamith. So I'm excited to hear where they take this.
Was it Poliça that touched my elbow at that secret show at South by?
Yes.
I'm still in love with her.
Yeah, that was a big moment for you. That was very cool. They do put on a great live show as well. So I'm excited for the new album as well, which means they'll be touring again. So we can go check them out.
Next on my list is The Strokes. After headlining a number of festivals during 2015, garage rockers The Strokes are rumored to be working on a follow-up to 2013's Come Down Machine. Frontman Julian Casablancas has indicated over Twitter that the band is working on new material. After we saw them play at Austin City Limits, it's clear they still know how to throw down. And so I'm looking forward to hear what these rock and roll vets can still churn out musically.
Yeah, always been a Strokes fan, probably always will be. I'm excited to hear what they have coming. And I wasn't a big fan of Julian Casablancas' side project. I think they dropped an album last year, maybe the year prior, kind of this noise rock thing that just didn't do much for me. So I'm excited to hear that he's back with the Strokes and they're focusing on some new material. So can't wait to hear what comes out of that. Next up for me is Mutual Benefit. You might not have heard of these guys. They are a sort of pastoral indie folk project for fans of Iron and Wine and the like. They caught my ear with their debut in 2013, Love's Crushing Diamond. And it's become one that I kind of keep going back to in those sort of chiller moments when I'm looking for, a nice little easygoing album. They're going to tour this spring with Deer Tick, which will be a great lineup. And they're slated to release their sophomore album. So excited to hear that.
You had me at Iron and Wine.
Right? Yeah, they're good. They're good. If you haven't checked them out, you should.
Next on my list is The XX. The English indie pop group found commercial and critical success with their self-titled 2009 debut. They kind of hit a sophomore slump with the club music-inspired Coexist, which dropped in 2012. But they look to bounce back in 2016. In a lot of interviews, they've really kind of been self-reflective and described a lot of ways in which they're taking different approaches and how they've learned from the overall creative process as they went from their first to second album. I really dug their first album, obviously, as a lot of people did. So I'm interested to see if they can bounce back.
And, Jamie XX had a pretty highly acclaimed album. I think it came out last year. So it'll be interesting to see, if he brings some of that mojo into the band. And if nothing else, I'm excited for this album to get a new instrumental track to go on every single commercial and YouTube video. What was the name of that song? Intro. Yeah.
What was that opening track's name?
I can't remember what it's called, but I remember it was the first song. Last on my list, but certainly not least, Lucius is coming out with their sophomore album. It'll be called Good Grief. If you don't know Lucius, they have two powerful front women leading a great band. They meld old school doo-wop with modern touches, and their debut album, Wilder Woman, was one of my favorites of 2013. I've been waiting for this one for a while. They've released a couple of singles that have really caught my ear and gotten me excited about this album.
Kevin, I'm really looking forward to this one as well, as the title also shares the name with my favorite book, the Charlie Brown autobiography, Good Grief.
Well, there you have it. 10 albums to look forward to in 2016. We could not fit every album we're looking forward to in this list, so let us know what you're looking forward to. Don't forget to subscribe to us here, either on the YouTube channel or the podcast. And we are the only reviews with 2 different views. As always, I'm Kevin.
I'm Derek.
Cheers, guys. We'll see you next week.